Salt, let me ask you something, because I've been debating this for the past 2 days with my friends. Okay?
Okay, what do we got?
This movie has a lot of white people in it, but specifically, I've been debating for the past 2 days with my friends. White women of the decade, 2020s. Who is it? Previous decades, pretty easy to figure it out. You know, you go back to the 2000s, there's a lot of great candidates. In my opinion, I watched Brokeback Mountain last month. You know those guys were gay because they were married to Anne Hathaway and Michelle Williams, and they still want to fuck dudes. But question is, who is the white woman of the decade?
So I have
For the
two-
2020s.
Jennifer Lawrence.
For the 2020s.
Oh.
Also, get recording, Keegan.
Oh, 2020s, man. I
2020s. See, that's what I mean, because our thesis
There's an
is that
answer.
white women fell off
There's an
in the
answer.
2020s.
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, prove it.
What if it's Ray Seahorn?
Rhea
Who?
Seahorn was big active in the 2010s, though. You know, like I'm talking about
Pluribus is right now,
debuts. You know,
Okay. You're always
I'm talking
focused
about
on debuts.
2020s
That's not how
draft
things
picks.
work. It's not how things work.
2020s it would be Sydney Sweeney.
see, that's
Damn.
the issue. Is that like that's what we came to as well. Is like Sydney Sweeney is running the decade right now, and that's bad. That's bad. So bad.
Yeah.
It really
that's very
shows
bad.
how white women have fallen off.
Well,
Hmm.
yeah, I kept thinking of women. I was like, no, wait, she's not white.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Is like the women running this decade are not white, and that's great.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm fine with
But
white women falling off.
I mean, aren't we all? But you know, it really is a precipitous fall compared to previous decades, I think. And I've just been mulling for the past couple of days, especially after watching this movie. You know, where are the white women at?
I mean, again though, it's you're always talking about debuts. You're always talking about like
Well, you got to
Peaks.
think about
It's
debuts
peaks,
here,
right.
because
I
like,
don't, but even
think-
Sydney Sweeney was around before 2020.
but who's peaking? Who's peaking in the 2020s?
I mean, Sydney Sweeney is peaking. That's
Right.
true. But it's also
Right.
it is 2026 too, so it's kind of like there's not really much
We're
more time
over
for another
halfway.
peak,
Yeah, we're
you
over
know?
halfway.
But
Like,
I
we
mean,
don't need debuts. We need peaks.
sure. Yeah.
I guess
yeah,
my
yeah,
my
yeah.
non-evil answer would be Leia Seydoux.
No, that ain't right. She's been around too long.
She's good. She's a good white.
Where's the peak
She's a
also?
good white.
Where's the
she's-
actual peak? Where's the actual peak? This is Chris Paul. This is a Chris Paul comparison, right? It's like Chris Paul was never the best. He's among them.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Who's
had
the white
either one of
woman
you heard of
LeBron this year?
the
It is
actress
Sydney
in this
Sweeney.
movie?
No.
Gemma Arterton, yeah.
Yeah. What did you know her from?
She was in other movies. Like I would see her in things, but I would never have watched those things. You know,
Because
like
of her or what?
Hmm?
Like it just would happen. Like it would just happen that she was in a thing.
she was in things, but also she was the Bond girl in Quantum of Solace,
Hmm.
or one of the
Okay.
Bond girls. Because Olga
Didn't see that.
Kurylenko was the Bond girl that actually. You made a good choice. She would always be things, you know. She would always be in things around, you know, the late 2000s, early 2010s. But yeah, I don't blame you if you hadn't known of her prior to this.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't heard of a lot of the cast. Like, I knew Jake Gyllenhaal, I knew Ben Kingsley, I knew Alfred Molina, and I really didn't know anyone else in this.
I think those are the only guys in this
That's,
movie.
I mean, you basically,
Those are
yeah,
the-
like half the that's half of the
Everyone else
cast
is not a
that
person.
really matters.
Non-person entities.
All right, so let's start with why. Why did we watch this again?
Welcome back to Midnight Grappler Animals, home of Flub Nation. I'm your host, Lan, and today I've got two white princes with me from the far-off land of America. We're here to discuss a video game movie called Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. And if you're wondering what possessed us to watch this, you should go subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/midnightgrappleranimals, where hopefully by the time this episode comes out, our third episode of Hornography Season 2 has come out.
That'll be out first, for sure.
During the recording of that episode, we had an epiphany, we'll say, specifically about the race of one character played by Artie Fruscian, because I called him a Brit because of course he had a British accent. Fair, right? Of course my compatriots were quick to correct me and say he is Iranian, and so there was a whole, you gotta just listen to the episode. It sounds bad out of context, but honestly it's even worse with context.
/Midnight Grappler Animals, patreon.com/Midnight Grappler Animals, Hornography Season 2 Episode 3. That's what you want to listen to. That's what you want to be there for.
During that whole epiphany, I had thrown out the idea, why don't we watch Prince of Persia? Because the only thing I knew about this movie was that there was a white guy playing someone who wasn't white, or someone who wasn't meant to be white, a Persian. And I had never seen the movie before, so I thought, why don't we watch this? Why don't we? You know, surely it couldn't be worse than Guardian Devil. Surely.
I would argue there are different types of pain. I think when a movie's bad enough, it gives me a specific flavor of anger. And if I'm going to compare this to other movies, the only other time I felt this angry watching a movie recently was Happy Gilmore 2.
Oh, okay, so that's the bar, huh? That's
just two movies that actively disrespect the audience.
So let's do a quick rundown of what this movie is, in case you somehow have been living under a rock for the past 16-ish years. Yes, the movie Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, based on the 2003 video game of the same name. This movie came out in 2010, much like many other movies that actually outperformed it at the box office. Some examples include Shrek the Third and Sex and the City 2 in the US, and Street Dance 3D in the UK, which outperformed this movie. But this movie is, in fact, the 11th highest selling movie based on a video game of all time, beaten by the likes of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Rampage, and the Angry Birds movie. There's one name I think we really do need to hone in on with this production, and that's Jerry Bruckheimer, who you might know as the producer behind the Pirates of the Caribbean series. And you can really tell that he wanted another Pirates with this. He wanted this to be the start of a new franchise of movies. Because, you know, around the same time, the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise had started to wane in its popularity. I think we were 3 movies in at this point, and the load had started to come down on the franchise. Fellas, I want to ask you, what is your familiarity with the Prince of Persia franchise?
Nothing.
Yeah, never played a game. Never played one. I
have a soft spot. Yeah, I have a soft spot for Ubisoft. I have played a lot of extremely mid Assassin's Creed games, and that's my connection. Same. Is I know that Assassin's Creed more or less started off as a retooling of Prince of Persia.
Yep, that's right. The Assassin's Creed connection we'll come back to later, because there's a very specific part of this movie that is very clearly trying to ride off that hype.
Should have been a hay. Should have been a pile of hay.
Should have been a pile of hay. Should have been a pile of hay.
Just why not?
One Pirates connection I want to make is, not only the fact that these are both like swashbuckling movies, and that this is like going to repeat a lot of the tropes, but specifically why they wanted the new franchise was that Disney felt that the VFX budget went way over for the last film, which in a way made them consider it a failure. So I do find it ironic that they irresponsibly spent so much movie on this. They spent so much money on this movie. They could have done this movie for like maybe 2/3 of the budget and made something far better. But
think of how much money was spent on the particle effects of the time travel in this movie. Yeah. Some quick things about the story, which we will really tear into here. This was actually based off a story by the creator of the Prince of Persia franchise, Jordan Mechner. He was actually originally hired to write a story based on the game rather than a direct adaptation. Partway through this process, Jerry Nachmanoff, which here's a fun fact, guys. There's a Daredevil Born Again connection here. Jerry Nachmanoff directed the Punisher episode of season 1 of Daredevil Born Again. Was brought in to write for the movie, and then the original script was ditched after the Writers Guild strike in 2008, and a new script was made by Mechner, Doug Miro, Carlo Bernard, and Boaz Yakin. Are either of you guys familiar with Boaz Yakin?
Yes, I actually like one of his movies.
Is it fresh?
No, it's Dolph Punisher.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so Boaz Yakin, Israeli-American filmmaker, was one of the writers of this movie. Take from that what you will. And as we've alluded to multiple times throughout this movie, this is a very white film. The only racialized member of the primary cast is Ben Kingsley, who, as we discussed in our pornography episode, has Indian heritage. And that's pretty much it. Everyone else is very white.
Alfred Molina's having so much fun in his brown face.
Oh,
Alfred
yeah, this
Molina,
is perhaps...
brown face go.
Yeah, he is really good at the brown face between Indiana Jones, this movie, and I think quite a few PTA movies he's been in.
Yeah, he'll do
real good at the brown face.
We're all cool with it.
We're cool with it though.
Wait a second.
He's Italian. That's POC by the standards of the time the movie is set in. Do you see?
Well, it's BIPOC stands for Black Italian People of Color.
I'd like to imagine the alternate universe where this movie was successful enough to spawn all the sequels, and then we get the legacy sequel, and like much older Alfred Molina has to come back for this, for like the fourth one or whatever.
Just like what's his face in Dial of Destiny. Oh, what's his name?
I didn't see Dial of Destiny.
Didn't watch that one. So
John Rhys Davies, is that his name?
Oh man, he must have been hella old for that.
Oh, definitely. I mean, everyone was hella old for that one. Harrison Ford at 80 years old, smoking it around. But yeah, this movie came out in 2010. It was a moderate success. Like I said, it is the 11th highest selling movie based on a video game of all time. But it wasn't successful enough by Disney and Bruckheimer's metrics to warrant any sequels. So, fellas, where do you want to start with this?
I'll start by saying, in a small but tangible yet inexplicable way, I am blaming the U.S.-Israeli war of aggression on Iran on this awful movie. That's my starting point.
This is the small domino. This is the small domino. Yes. Yeah. I see it. I want to take a note out of Roger Ebert's 2 out of 4 review of this movie.
Wait a second. That's not low enough, Roger.
It's not low enough. And it's crazy given Roger Ebert's history with video games.
Yeah.
It's very generous, but I do want to note that he said, if I were the Prince of Persia, I'd push the button, go back in time, and plant a wet one on Tamina's luscious lips.
I was about to say a full star is because of the shot of cleavage. Like a full star there from him is because of the boob shot.
She was resting boobily, and Roger was there for it.
Roger was there for it. But I do also want to start with a quick synopsis. Pretty simple plot, all things considered. Jake Gyllenhaal is Dastan, the adopted prince of the king of Persia, making him a prince of Persia. But he's also one of 3 princes of Persia who storm a beautiful mystical city called Alamut in search of WMDs. Because, again, as Roger Ebert notes in his review, Nizam, the uncle of the princes of Persia, has secret information that Alamut is manufacturing weapons of mass destruction for Persia's enemies. And in parentheses, he says, poor Dick Cheney, he can't even go to a Disney swashbuckler without running into finger wagging.
All right, Ebert cooked on that.
Ebert did cook on that.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, they get the dagger, and they finds out that the dagger has time-altering properties. So along with the princess of Alamut, Tamina, he goes to try and stop his evil uncle who has killed his father and blamed the regicide on him. And that's pretty much it. They encounter Alfred Molina's character, who is an ostrich racer who hates the government and hates taxes. Like, there's 3 minutes where he goes off on the government about how much he hates taxes. Very libertarian character.
It's tax season right now, so I'm kind of feeling that for real. Though,
I get it, though. So. Yeah.
I think the back half of this movie is them running away. Like there's very little plot.
Are there any other significant characters? Like, there's the 2 brothers, one of which who dies like 2 times, I'm pretty sure.
There's the assassin. I think that's the only other person you forgot.
Guy, yeah.
The assassin. Okay,
sorry. It's the Hassansons, right?
Hassansons, which I want to know.
I fucking hate myself for saying that out loud.
The Assassins, or the Hashashins, are the historical group of assassins from around that time in Persia. They are, of course, what the franchise Assassin's Creed are based off of. The other thing to note for Assassin's Creed is Assassin's Creed was based off of the novel Alamut, the 1938 novel Alamut. So in case you were wondering, hey, this seems to be leaning a bit too weirdly close to to Assassin's Creed in parts. There you go.
It is really funny that this bombed, not bombed, but did badly enough, much, underperformed. And then like only 6 years later, they did the Arrested Development thing with David Cross, but it could work for us. And they tried to do Assassin's Creed.
Hey, listen, Jake Gyllenhaal, people were clearly getting tired of him. Michael Fassbender, on the other hand.
Another odd casting choice.
Yeah, like that should have worked for me, and I didn't watch that either. But you know what? The reason is video games. Maybe I'm not even going to say movies here. Maybe it's just video games are bad. Maybe that might be a source of the problem here. Like
you're really hewing close to Roger Ebert here.
He's here with us. I can feel him.
The spirit of Roger Ebert hangs over this podcast like a miasma, a beautiful miasma.
Well, it's like this movie's weird too because like you can also draw lines from the pulp attempted resurgence right about there. That this was among those two and failed among those.
There are parts here that feel very Fairbanksian in their execution. Down to Dastan's failed backflip, which I don't know why they included that in the movie. There's a part in this movie where he tries to do a backflip and falls like face first. Very odd. But yeah, there are bits here and there with the stunts that make you think, oh, they're actually trying to recreate some of the magic of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. But it never gets all the way there, and I think part of that is that you don't have Gore Verbinski. You know, you don't have that crazy mind
1,000%
behind any of this.
Yeah, because Gore has a vision, and you watch this. It's too many cooks in the kitchen. It's people who are checked out. Like, dude, I love watching flips. Like, your most low budget 1970s tokusatsu show is gonna film the flips better than this.
Right. I feel like it's like a part of the schizophrenia of this movie is that there's not just too many cooks, but it's too many inspirations, and they're not blending them enough. Because a lot of the camera stuff too feels like Bourne movies to me too. The way they're filming the action, the way it feels like there's shaky cam cuts when strikes are being hit, and it's not good at all though. Like, which I know movies got bad at doing that. And about doing that around this time too. But it's like there's so many, all of the problems here feel like problems of other things, and it's bizarre. Like everyone forgot how to make a movie.
Well, with the camera work, you've got when you combine the camera angles and how short some of the shots are, and some of the bizarre edits to the next shot, most action scenes completely elude a sense of place. I never quite understand the environment they're in, which I think should be one of the top goals of a platformer video game. Like, what's this room like, you know?
Yeah. Like, show me the whole room. What are we doing?
Yeah. There's very little green screen, and yet the whole movie feels green screened.
Yeah. That's what's crazy too. Because I'm like, we moved away from doing films this way for some reason, and I'm like, it was Prince of Persia's fault because this is
definitely
shitty.
The transition point. Like, I was thinking about that. Like, when did we stop making movies that looked like those original Pirates of the Caribbean movies? And it was around this time. Like, it's not just the story that is affected by the Writers Guild. Like, there was a shift around that time about the way that movies and TV shows were produced. And it is very apparent in this movie.
I wonder if part of it is you've got the modular nature of movies starting to arise with movies like Iron Man. And Iron Man might not have been the first, but it's a good example because I know with that movie, they were shooting extra scenes. They were ready to resequence certain things. So it's like you see that this practical based approach will be kind of unwieldy and expensive if you don't trust your script. So, hey, let's just start putting things on green screens. Let's have these incomplete scripts. Then we can have, section Q go before section M or whatever based on our audience testing.
Yeah. And it feels like producers just forgot how to do this good. Like, no producer on the set of this movie was able to be like, you guys are fucking this up. Like, what's happening, And then, you get the modular thing of the MCU and those same producers producing other stuff and being like, we'll fix it in post, right? Which is also, like, there's a problem beyond the MCU, but, like, we see it the most there. And it's like, yeah, this movie had to get made on set. Like, you had to make this movie then. You can't. And it's like, we lost the recipes. We just lost the recipes.
Jerry Bruckheimer definitely was like hitting that sweet spot of cocaine during Pirates of the Caribbean, and then this is like either too much or not enough cocaine.
Yeah. It was the amount of cocaine that makes you washed is what happened.
Just a normal amount. It's unfortunate.
What's crazy about this movie too is it's just Aladdin and Lion King. Like, it's just Aladdin and Lion King. That's what they do. It like transitions between them scene to scene. If it's a scene that's either from Aladdin or it's a scene from The Lion King. And it's like Like, that's the other thing that I'm like, this movie snowballed into everything bad. Because it's like, this feels like the first step toward Disney live action movies too. You know?
Oh, absolutely. This is definitely like, again, it's a small domino for a lot of things.
That's exactly. It's horrible. It's the worst, man.
The whole most time. Influential movie of the 21st century.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like video game adaptations, right? Like live action video game adaptations, it's the embarrassment that this has for the source material. Again, small domino. You know, this isn't the last one, but it definitely is one of the first ones. The Arab filter. We gotta love the Arab filter.
It's so bad. I think my eyes adjusted like 30 minutes in, but the first 30 minutes I was like, I'm gonna have a migraine watching this. It's horrible.
You could tell that America had really started losing the war on terror by this point.
Boots needed to be off the ground.
It is so hard to articulate how racist this movie is. Like, you made the Fairbanks connection, and I think you could pick just about any movie set in the Middle East that was made nearly a century ago, and I'm not going to say that movie was less racist than Prince of Persia, but you'd have to you'd have to weigh their pros and cons.
I think it's the biggest racist part of it is that this came out in 2010 though.
Yeah. Like, you know, when the racial makeup is pretty much identical to the 1940 Mark of Zorro, you know, where the main cast is all white, but you've got racialized folks as the no-name soldiers in the back. In 2010, a solid 70 years after the former movie came out. Baffling. It
did feel like they were stunting on us too when they cast a Norwegian as the top assassin.
Oh yeah.
Clearly Norwegian also. Get the calipers out for that guy, you know? We could tell.
Just the Nordic features really coming through.
The character
pacing
who
is also insane.
Oh yeah, go ahead on the pacing because it's so hard to tell what's happening.
No, how is it 2 hours?
That's the thing. It's long? 2 hours, and yet it feels so
like an eternity.
Okay, there's the one scene. When they've captured Almut. And his dad is there. He's put the robe on, right? And he's joking about marrying Dastinov to Mina. And then immediately after, the poison kicks in. He's had the robe on for like 5 or 10 minutes at this point.
It was the most deserved death I've ever watched. I was like, dude, die. Like, get out of my life.
Just so insane. Like, clearly, and again, 4 writers on this. They delayed this movie by like 3 years to wait for the strike to end to work on this, and yet it still turned out this way.
The character the character who is most embarrassing, like the greatest humiliation ritual in this movie is Gemma's character Tamina, because this is not a character in the literary sense. I think maybe 2/3 of her lines, I wrote down one of them: "You've used up all the sand. You have to press the button before the old ones discover that we've become impure before we reach the temple of the gods." Like, it's all this like rule making and then rule breaking. Like, I really hate movies that, you know, have magic but then like a bunch of rules I need to learn, and you can tell has no idea what she's saying. How could she? Because none of it makes any sense.
She's
the hint
Zelda.
box that pulls up. Well, let's hold on. Now let's give Navi some respect here. All right, I would much rather listen to Navi than to
Navi.
Mina.
At least says something like, "Hey, you need to get to the mountain," versus like this Tamina will say to Dastan, like, "Good job, you hit X just in time there. See if you can try that again on that big box."
Some would call this a ludonarrative dissonance.
Yeah, some would.
Because every time that Tamina talked, I started dissociating. The dissonance really started hitting.
That's what the boobs are for. That's where the star comes in.
It is 2010. That was what the boobs were for, in fact.
That's what the boobs are for. That's what keeps gamers going, That's still true, actually. This is what gamers deserve to be disrespected, so I think this movie should have been this bad. Though.
Yeah, this is a very
there's no way this movie could have been good, I think, is the thing.
This is what I'm saying. Okay, actually. So Salt, you and I talked just completely unrecorded, just being friends, about Ghost of Yote a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
And like video games, the stories just aren't good. Like, that's not the point of them. The AAA video games especially. Like,
Lan is white knuckling right now. He's so mad at
which,
you.
Which game would I be like defending though? Like, I'm trying to think of.
I think Lan just automatically agrees with me because the point is playing the game, right?
Yeah.
So like adapting it into
Miyamoto knew this. Shigeru Miyamoto knew this. And that's why Mario doesn't have like a complex plot. You're there to play the game,
right? It don't make no sense. So like, stop trying. Right, even this movie. There were how many Prince of Persia games were out before this movie?
Like probably 5 or 6.
Like 10.
Sure.
Oh, jeez,
guys,
we said
hold on. I want to play a
quick
game. I want to play a quick game here. Okay. How many games do you guys think are in the Prince of Persia franchise?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say. I mean, there's a new one. I'm gonna say 16.
16. Salt.
I was about to say 15.
Okay,
there
that's
are
pretty
20.
good. Price is right.
Damn it. Wow.
There are 20 games in the franchise, not counting compilations, but yeah, 20.
So, like, you have all that, and then you made The Lion Aladdin, Like, that's the movie you made.
The Lion Aladdin, yeah.
Like, what the hell, man? And then you have these swashbuckling, and it really is proof that just, like, gamers, a particular brand of gamers, right? You're wrong about games. They're not art.
Again,
wrong.
This movie should vindicate Roger Ebert, and yet he gave it a 2 out of 4, which is so like. Yes, Roger, I would like to summon you.
It was the boobs.
It was the boobs.
Listen,
it was the boobs. It was the
Roger was a dude, and we have to honor that. 2 out of 4. No, there's no way this movie was going to be good though. Like, how much work do you want to do on a bad story to make it a good movie? And like, they did a bad job. They did as bad a job as possible, but also it was just a thankless job anyway.
Well, I mean, I think that really ties back to Pirates of the Caribbean. The first one should not have been good. It should have been bad. The fact that it was good was probably a problem for someone at Disney. Like, you fools, you've raised the expectations of the audience. A theme park
suffering from success.
It's a ride. What are you doing? We were laundering money.
Right.
Idiots.
Oh, I mean, God, there were probably real estate schemes being done too. You can't like underestimate the evil they're perpetuating with each production.
Let the genie out of the bottle, if you want to consider it that way.
So I have to talk about Jake Gyllenhaal real quick. That accent, man, that is...
I mean, all the accents. Why is everyone British? Why is everyone British?
Because everyone's British, man. Like, they didn't even do any accent work. They're just British people.
You know what's weird is there are at least 2 lines about the empire. You have to protect the empire, and like, I never get the feeling that this is really an empire. We see a capital city, but it just kind of feels like they're always on the outskirts of town for most of the film. Again, just more like no attention to detail there.
Yeah, there's just stuff on screen. I get that.
Yeah. What? Like what else do you talk about in this? Let's talk about the other cast members. Well, about the brothers.
So boring. You mean the one with heavy armor and the one with medium armor?
I gotta come clean, guys. I didn't realize there were two brothers.
Oh my god. There's like a lighter haired one and there's a black haired one. There's the one
that looks like Carl Urban and the one that looks like Bad Bunny.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And the one that looks like Bad Bunny, I swear, dies twice in this movie without time travel shenanigans.
I don't know.
Yeah, nothing to say with either of them, man. There's like no any scene. There's no emotional charge scene where I found myself caring in the slightest what happened to anyone. Yeah.
No,
both of them die the most ignoble deaths too. Like the one brother, the Bad Bunny looking one, just walks out and gets knives.
Just fly. They come out of a cloud. Like the cloud killed him. It's crazy.
Like it's crazy because they try at these like big emotional moments with both of the brothers. Like, I am actually your brother. Can't you see Nizam is deceiving you? And then the brother is like, oh yes, you're right, Dastan. Nizam is deceiving me. Now let me go walk into open fire. Both times. I was so like gobsmacked by Tuss's death because he goes through that whole thing with
you gotta say who that is.
Tuss is the Carl Urban looking one.
Okay, the King brother.
Thank you.
The King brother, yes.
There was no way. I had no idea what you were talking about.
From this point onwards, we're calling them the Carl Urban brother and Bad Bunny brother. So Carl Urban brother has this whole like come to Jesus moment where
he pushes the jewel,
experiences the sands of time. He gets to experience, like actually clicking the dagger, and you think, oh, okay. So now they're going to actually team up against Nizam. And then he turns around and immediately gets his neck slit by Nizam.
It's awesome. Oh,
and like so many deaths in this movie. No emotional weight. Not only because I don't care about the characters.
The pacing too. Like there's no pause beat between him having that realization. There's no like moment. Same with the dad, He jokes and then he dies.
Yeah, it really is like, this is a time travel movie, huh? Like, okay, I know what's gonna happen. You can't trick me. Like, it's very much like
this is actually like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5. The villain Diavolo is using the power of his stand to remove all of the precious time that would otherwise be used towards pacing things out. So we only see the effect and not the cause.
This is just like in Chainsaw Man when Denji eats the pacing devil.
Yeah, exactly. This is like in One Piece when Sabu eats the pacing fruit. Yeah,
right. Both. Yeah, that's the same arc.
Who could forget when Law made up his backstory just to cut out some time from
it's 212 chapters, but they're all bangers.
Oh, of course, the time skip. How could I forget? The time skip.
What I found most baffling about this movie was the time travel elements itself, because even though I've never played Prince of Persia, I've seen bits of gameplay, and the time traveling looks fun. Film especially is something where you can play with time manipulation in a $0 way. You don't even have to invest in special effects. You can simply use clever editing to convey manipulation of time. And from the get-go, I think I felt like I was having maybe like a baby seizure during that first time travel scene, because I could not tell what was happening, and it was like, oh, he's not, this isn't like super strength or something, he's time traveling here. Why is this so hard to follow? They'll reverse the shots, but like I swear they're from different angles or something. Like it feels like they're trying to make the time reversing as illegible as possible.
Yeah. It is so hard to discern. Like the one where they're getting attacked by the Hassansons.
Yes.
In the camp. the amount of time it took to like piece together what exactly was happening when he was turning back time. Insane. Like, and again, think about how much money they used to like do that.
You can easily imagine like a high schooler or a college student, like, you know, telling a story with a protagonist with a similar power, and you could make that really fun and like easy to follow without spending any money on special effects.
The logic of the snake attacks also just didn't make sense. I'm sorry to go all whatever. It's like, okay, he only reversed time from the moment he pushed the button. How did he know where the snakes were coming from after when he pushed the button? You know? Like, that don't make no sense. Anyway, whatever. It was stupid.
but I think you raise a good point too, that like this is not a superpower that is adding anything to the character. Like I think a good superpower with a well-written character will feature them like learning how to use this power, and it's like, is this power possibly going to corrupt them, or is this power going to like help them become a better person, and they have to learn how to wield it properly? None of that is in this movie.
What I wanted out of this was like, I wanted to recharge meter, you know, and I want him to be able to push the button more often. Like, he needs to upgrade the recharge meter more often. It takes way too long. He doesn't get to use it.
Think about what a good gag that would be if like he messes it up and he just has to keep hitting the button again and again.
He has to like stall for time. It's like, wait, give me a sec.
Midway through the movie, a second button appears on the dagger, and he can push them in different sequences, and sometimes he pushes them in the wrong sequence.
He opens a chest and suddenly like an attachment attaches itself to the dagger, unlocking new power.
That's how the dagger comes up though, right? Like, he's running through the city, and then a cutscene happens, and the dagger falls in front of him, and he picks it up, and then the cutscene ends, and you run away, and the tutorial screen comes up and it's like, you have unlocked and equipped the dagger of time.
Frankly, I think I would have more respect for this movie if it were more video gamey like that.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, it's like a lot of people have, come back around on Ang Lee's Hulk movie from 2003 because of how comic booky it is. And I think in a similar manner, if this movie showed more of its DNA as a video game, it probably wouldn't have resulted in a better movie, but I think I would have more respect for it.
Yeah, it would be more charming, at least.
When we reviewed AVP, like, that was totally a video game movie, and like, that's what I want a video game movie to be. Like, I want it to feel like there's distinct levels and obstacles and challenges and new powers. Like, all that has to feel like an event.
Where were the boss
Honestly,
fights?
The Predator movies are a really good litmus test for this. You know, like the latest Predator movie, Predator Badlands, totally a video game movie. The video gamiest of the franchise, but very fun. You know, I think if, just like Reggie Fils-Aimé, former president of Nintendo America, once said, if it's not fun, why bother?
Was he a wrestler ever?
No.
He just got that dog in him.
He's just Haitian.
But he's like hella tall, right?
He is, yes.
Yeah.
Not a wrestler.
What do you guys think of that knife fight?
Oh, the knife throwing?
Which knife fight?
That's all right.
The one
that's cool.
Between the one black guy in this movie and the Norwegian.
Yeah, that's correct. To free the dagger of time from its like ceremonial holding place in the palace. Why is that even there? Anyway.
There wasn't a single good action scene in this movie, and that's nothing against any of the stunt performers. I think there's some terrific stunts. Just nothing is choreographed or shot or edited to convey the story of the action.
What about the ostrich race? The ostrich race was great.
You know, I was half expecting some kind of ostrich riding scene.
Yeah,
you know, something. It was perfectly set up for that kind of stuff, and we didn't get it.
Like, what if the movie just like took a 30-minute detour for an ostrich race? You know, like it would be better. It would be a better movie.
If they just were like feeding and petting ostriches for 30 minutes, I would be having such a good time. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
so true, so true. That's what. So
you know, I liked at the very end when the sand vortex of time was like whirling, and then you hear his father, just like Vin Diesel. He said "family," and that's the only thing that we get.
and then the girl was just yelling. Yeah, she was falling to her death.
That's like so funny. Oh yeah, there's so much green. I said this isn't that much green screen. There is so much green screen for that particular
that
5
part
minutes.
Was so bad.
Yeah.
And you've got Jake Gyllenhaal like surfing down the sand, and it looks really like Decker-esque. That whole finale is a wild dude. And also when Ben Kingsley and Jake Gyllenhaal have the dagger in the wall, and they're both going, oh. And then the wall starts ejaculating. It's like, damn, they're jacking off together. That's sick.
It's just like
who amongst us hasn't done that with their uncles before?
Well, they're not related, so it's not. It's not like that.
Step uncle, what are you doing? Step uncle, my dagger is stuck.
Stop touching my jewel, step uncle.
Stop trying to press my button.
Technically, it's legal.
They're consenting adults. Okay. we can't lose track of the truth here. Like
it was a different time, guys. It was a different time.
It was Persia, man. You can't tell me what Persian cultural norms were. My God.
Hot twink nephew gets stuck in time machine.
I thought you say stuck in rock.
Both good. Stuck in time machine.
I mean, that is a kind of racism that they're like, how would the Persians do a time machine? Big rock,
big underground rock, sand.
Also, another underrated moment of this movie being crazy racist is when we see the inside of Tamina's temple, and it's like a little bit of Buddhism, a little bit of like some African paganism, a little bit of Hinduism. It's like, who knows what those crazy Iranians worship?
Oh, man.
Very offensive film.
It's
in every
crazy.
sense.
It's crazy. Like every single one of these pulp movies, except maybe, well, I don't even know. I think every single one of them like retained the racism that they could have. Also, like you go back through all that whole resurgence, and it's like, damn, they really kept up with it, huh?
I mean, I think this one is easily the most racist of the American resurgence of pulp action movies for sure. I mean, even like Charlie Chan has like some dignity and consistency to his character, and that's like bad. They haven't even tried to resuscitate Charlie Chan
yet.
But
the Good Asian
that
TV series
Stop Asian
coming
hate.
Next year.
I was thinking like Trump is gonna drop a Charlie Chan reference this year. I just know it.
Yeah, just very cultured, but in the wrong way. This aggression from China reminds me of those old Charlie Chan novels I used to read.
Man, you're really good at that.
I didn't need that though.
Didn't need it. Yeah, didn't need.
I didn't. It's fine. You know.
No, if you say like you just can't help a vocal stim, that's like totally fine excuse.
Just possessed. Every now and then, world leaders possess my body.
Yeah, if I'm doing dishes for like 20 minutes and like I don't have anything to listen to, I'd probably start stimming to like weird Trump voices or other weird politicians.
Definitely start. It's the voices, the voices in your head.
Mm-hmm. Got to let them out.
Yeah.
So I think we're on like our sixth bout of running out of things to talk about with this horrible movie. I don't have anything else.
I don't think I have much else here. This movie ends with the papyrus font, which I think is really the cherry on top.
Rule.
I think the last shot having papyrus text over it. And I
those
believe
first
this
shots
was just
too,
a
though, right?
year after Avatar, too.
And the message of the text is so funny. It's like a very Chat GPT style fortune cookie.
Yeah.
Chat GPT, write me a fortune cookie is
no,
is
it
real
was
good.
like, there are those with the willingness to go forth, and they shall be found.
Wait, isn't it also like a romance thing though? There's like, there are people who are meant to be together across lifetimes.
Yeah.
Something like that too. And I'm like, it's like, again, this movie, just every single level is incompetent. Because like okay, like no video game has a great what are great romances of video games where the woman isn't murdered, especially, right? Like
Mario and Princess Peach.
Okay, sure, yeah, like, but like, which means you could have. Since you're ditching video games anyway with this movie, you could make a good romance, right? Impossible difficulty for the people who made this movie. And then
what
also,
do you mean?
just
You're telling me the four male writers of this movie couldn't come up with a good romance?
So bad. And then, like, on top of that, Jake Gyllenhaal, genuinely, my biggest problem with his character is that he's just not quite enough of a person at all. But also, like, he's too nice. He's too nice.
He's too nice.
He's too nice. He can't be. It's like they tried to put Will and Jack Sparrow into one character, and it's like, that doesn't work, guys. It doesn't work. And this movie sucks. It was cool that everybody cheered when the uncle got killed, though. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I
literally
like how,
everyone.
And
again,
again, this was with like 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes of him being like, actually, Uncle Nizam is actually a bad guy.
Suddenly, like, they overthrew the city, and then he's like, wait a second, I just had a realization. It's so insane. Like, they were like, this movie can't be longer than 2 hours and 3 minutes.
Never mind the fact.
And no, that shouldn't have
Never
been.
mind the fact that, like, when they went back in time, they specifically went back to this moment in time. Couldn't go back any further. Why is that?
Yeah. This is when he got the dagger, duh. Come on.
Oh. Sure. Yeah.
All right.
Makes sense.
I gotta run soon.
Yeah, let's wrap things up here.
Movie's not worth talking more.
Folks, we might just end up doing more than just this. There's a lot of video game movies. Did you know this?
No.
So
we're
hey,
doing The Last of Us then. Yeah. That's what we're doing.
Well, I was thinking Uncharted. Thinking Uncharted next.
Oh hell yeah!
Damn.
Let's go.
Okay, Uncharted next.
I've seen
Uncharted
that one,
next week. Uncharted
least.
is Naughty Dog, by the way. I'll put some respect on my Canadian slop, all right? Folks, if you like this episode and you want to hear what spawned this, go to patreon.com/MidnightGrapplerAnimals. Lots to find there. Lots of bonus things. Right now, we've got pornography going on during the duration of Daredevil
Weekly.
Born Again Season 2. Weekly
on Mondays.
Weekly. Is that
the
so,
Mondays
Keegan?
following. The Monday following the episode. Yeah.
The Monday following the episode. There you go. But there's a whole bunch of things that aren't Daredevil related that you can find there for a very, very low price. But if that price is still too high for you, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies to listen to our podcast. If you've got questions, email us at midnightgrappleranimals@gmail.com. If you want to talk to us, the links to our Discord as well as our social media pages are in the description of this episode. And fellas, Tastemaker's Grab Bag, what you got?
I can go first.
All right.
Since we're talking video games, I recently recommended Resident Evil Requiem, which I beat a week ago. Had a great time. I played it because I loved Resident Evil 4, so I decided to go back to the beginning of Leon's journey, and now I'm finally playing the Resident Evil 2 remake from 2019 and having a grand time.
Okay. I'll go next because we were talking about video game adaptations. And if I hadn't recommended it already, I'm going to recommend it again. The Nihon Toitsu adaptation of Yakuza 1. Again, if you want to talk about an adaptation that respects the source material, that goes out of its way to really be video gamey, the Nihon Toitsu adaptation of Yakuza is really one of the best you can get. It's on YouTube. It's not only on the IGN YouTube now, but it's also on the Sega English YouTube. Go check it out. Keegan.
Oh, I have been burning through all my various omnis that are still in plastic, as Guy would say. And I read the Darth Vader omnibus by Gillen and LaRocca. I'm starting to feel the Star Wars urge. I am trying to track down how to buy the 4K remaster things that the fans did for Star Wars and Empire. But I reread the comic.
Year. Just wait another year.
No, I don't want the Disney one. It's gonna be bad, Lan. It's not gonna be good. It's gonna be bad in some way that nobody can predict. Plus, I don't want to give Disney money if I don't have to. Anyway, Gillen Roca Vader it is really good. It is a good comic. It's very good Darth Vader stuff. And I'm happy. I'm actually happy it's on my shelf. I was dreading reading it because I was like, this is gonna suck. It didn't suck. It was good. Salvador LaRocca did suck then too, though. I will say it's not. I've said previously on this podcast that that's his last good work.
Salvador LaRocca really been sucking for some time. That's why I'm a bit confused.
Some of that art looks really shitty, but some of it still does hold up. Really, like better. You know, the more he draws robots, the better is the thing.
I guess the consolation is it definitely looks better than whatever he's putting out now.
Yes, exactly. It's the last look-atable. It's the last fine enough work. Anyway, I do like it a lot. It was good. And that's it. I'm in the middle of too many things at this point.
And fellas, that's the episode. Folks, that's the episode. Guys, gals, non-binary pals. Stole that one from Jake and G. Lopez Alt. This has been an episode of Midnight Grappler Animals. And as always,
keep on
grappling.
Beauty. So did you guys figure out who the white woman of the decade is for the 2020s?
No, I was recording a podcast.
That's fair. You know what? That's fair.
Keegan's like, I was focusing.
Yeah.
That's fair. No, that's fair.
It is. I think it's Sydney Sweeney. I think that's just correct, but
that's just sad, you know?
I mean, it's the peak is the difficult thing, because like Brie Larson peaked with Captain Marvel. I don't think that's
and that was
incorrect.
Like right at the very end. That was right at the tail end. So you're saying, you know...
So it's just other people
Captain Marvel was
peaked.
2019.
Okay.
So what we're saying is we still got 3 good years for white women to peak.
Somebody could peak. I would say
we're not there
Haley
yet,
Steinfeld isn't... I think
Zionist.
There's still peak.
It's crazy.
I know. But there's still peak to be had there. There's still peak to be done. Potential peak.
She's married to Josh Allen, so I don't think that's happening.